Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Mafia 6ix mixtape, the Six Commandments.
Organized crime? I thought you left that world in the behind.
I thought so too, but I'm still bout that life. End scene. Amazing. Mafia 6 might be a relatively new name in the world of hip-hop, but do not let this fresh tag fool you. Mafia 6 is just a variation on the seminal southern hip-hop outfit Three Six Mafia, a group that has had some pretty sturdy hits in their career, like Hard Out Here for a Pimp, as well as Poppin' My Collar, and my personal favorite, Stay Fly. But now that the southern hip-hop sound is hot in the mainstream, in the underground, people are going back, digging up old gems in the southern sound, like 3 6 Mafia's 90s output, their early contributions to gangster rap and horrorcore, like Mystic Styles. Now there are quite a few artists who are trying to bring back that old 3 6 Mafia Memphis rap style sound. Artists like Little Ugly Mane, Halik Mal, Space Ghost Perp. Of course, there's a huge influence from 3 6 Mafia in a lot of the ASAP Mob stuff. And now you have pivotal members of 3 6 Mafia coming back and reliving this sound as well. Gangsta Boo, Crunchy Black, Lord Infamous, DJ Paul, as well as Koopsta. And there are some very good features across this mixtape too, like 8Ball and MJG, Yellow Wolf, Bone Thugs, Space Ghost Perp, and Little White. Plus there is a massive posse track on the back end of this LP that is about 9 minutes long and has a verse from Juicy J, Project Pat, and a lot of other familiar faces from 3 6 Mafia's past. They even redo an older track of theirs on this LP, Break the Law, with just a hard-hitting, catchier version of the classic 1995 cut off of Mystic Styles. And honestly, it goes over really well, and so do most of their attempts to bring their devilish sound back to the forefront. Now, lyrically, I'm not promising anything on this mixtape that's going to uplift you. This is definitely not the kind of rap mixtape that is going to make you pat yourself on the back like, I listened to a smart song. 6 Commandments isn't really an album that tries to impress. It's more of an act of intimidation. The verses on this record are really just like coming face to face with a junkyard dog, with bar after bar after bar after bar on this record having to do with trapping, cooking, pulling triggers, cold-blooded murder, smoking, mobbing, pretty much every greasy thing in the book. The only thing that keeps this album from being overly redundant is that every member of Mafia 6 or 3 6 Mafia has such a distinct flow and voice and style. The way the features are peppered throughout this album adds to the variety as well. If you're already familiar with 3 6's older stuff, you know what makes each member stand out. DJ Paul being gruff as hell, Gangsta Boo, always very cool, charismatic, as well as confident, and being the only female member of 3 6 Mafia, of course, that makes her voice stick out too. There's Crunchy Black, who is incredibly animated with his deep voice. Lord Infamous, who flows a little bit harder than every other member of the group, from what I at least hear on this record. And then there is Koopsta, who is incredibly creepy and eerie. The production brings a lot of heavy, sometimes over-modulated 808s and twittering hi-hats for rhythms. There are a lot of dark, minor tone synth leads and chord progressions. And even though this record is pretty heavy on the synths, there are a lot of samples, interesting samples, that are looped throughout this muddy mix too, like the Black Sabbath song God Is Dead, one of their more recent tracks that pops up on the song Bed of Prey, and the theme to the song Fame, which is looped pretty quickly, a little snippet of it in the song Remember. And again, the sound on this thing, the sound of the production, the sound of the vocal recording, it's really, really rough. At times, I would say lo-fi, and blatantly so, but still, the production on here bangs. It is bassy, it is heavy. The recording quality doesn't take any of the aggression away from these beats. And even though you do have the backing of these hip-hop rhythms melodically, a lot of these instrumentals just have the aura of a creepy slasher movie. There's some really hard-hitting tracks on this thing, like Better Pray and Remember and Been Had Hard, which is one of the few tracks on here that has an awesome beat change up in the second half where Koopsta pops out of nowhere and gets ultra creepy. And the song Go Hard, whose title does not lie. It's just this really grim Southern hip-hop sound that deserves to be cranked, with an incredibly catchy chorus which is nastily growled by DJ Paul's voice, and that is kind of the approach that most of the choruses on this mixtape take. However, it is effective, it is catchy, it does lead to a lot of infectious tracks. And there are some songs on here that tone it down a little bit and take a creepier direction. Stash Spot, Murder on My Mind, and Beacon in a Blender, which is blatantly a song about cooking drugs and dealing them, and yeah, just a slower track on here, but still a memorable track on here. And there are a lot of memorable moments on here. This mixtape is just so goddamn raw, punchy, horrific, and catchy. There are a few shorter tracks on here toward the back end of the mixtape that maybe are not favorites for me, but still, this tape does not have too many shortcomings, in my opinion, even though it's not incredibly diverse in terms of sound or production or anything like that. Personally, I don't really feel like this mixtape needs a moment where it makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside or something that I really need to contemplate, because it's simply just so good at being tough as nails. For sure, this thing does have its limitations if I guess you're getting the mixtape version because you're constantly getting hit with the trapaholics, real trap shit, and all the DJ Paul interjections, and there's even a weird outro track here where he's just just listing off all the social media of everyone in the group, which actually did lead me to a YouTube channel where you have Paul doing a bunch of barbecue cooking. But the songs themselves are an incredibly great grouping of just, again, dark, violent Southern hip-hop music with absolutely no remorse and, just really nasty scowl on its face. Feeling a light to decent 8 on this thing. Transition. If you've given this mixtape a listen, what did you think about it? And I have a new episode of my music video review show over at the Maker Music channel. You can watch it by clicking on my face right now. Also, what do you think I should review next? And did you love this album, hate this album, why? And I hope you're having a nice day. Anthony Fantano, Mafia 6ix, Six Commandments, forever.